We are back with the somewhat downtrodden Buffalo Bills. Not the finest start to the season we've ever seen. An 0-3 start, and of course, the loss of LaShawn McCoy in our final preseason game really put the start of this season into a negative downward spiral. In this episode, though, we look to overcome that. We look to get back on the right track. Hopefully, at the very least, we look to put up a respectable record. As it is, you look at a team like Green Bay, probably don't expect them to be 0-3. They are. Anything can happen. Now, we do have a couple of things to attend to, and as far as how we are going to handle the sim, I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play any games from this point on. That really wasn't the plan anyway to play to begin with. But we are going to jump into the game. We're going to jump to the fourth quarter. We're going to see how it all plays out, and we'll take it from there. That way, I mean, again, with only the 17 weeks, if we just sim, every season's going to be nearly instant, which some people wouldn't mind, in all honesty. But starting things off, Kelvin Benjamin's looking for a new contract. He's 27. It's a little bit concerning, but it is a fair deal. I'm willing to drop that to 3 years. I'll give him what he wants. We'll see if he's willing to sign for that, and he wants a little bit more money. Vontae Davis at 30. I'd probably prefer to bring him back for that extra year, even with the risk of him regressing, simply because I don't know if we're going to have any better options come up in the future. I don't know what the free agent class is going to look like. Don't know what the rookie class is going to look like, at least on the defensive side of things, and specifically for the secondary. So I'm okay with bringing Davis back if he doesn't want too much, which of course he wants a bit of a raise. Lorenzo Alexander's gonna go. Look, I know, captain of the team and everything. There's no way I'm bringing him back at 36. He's going to regress. Jeremy Curley, we cannot negotiate with. So Alexander, I'd withdraw an offer now, but that would crash franchise mode, so we'll just leave that as is. And again, now, in terms of scouting, it's just a matter of what we want to focus on, really. Of course, the talk of bringing in a running back would certainly help. We need help pretty much everywhere. We're going to finish up, I think, with the offensive line, though, of course, before changing up our scouts and trying to get those bonus points elsewhere. Again, for those who might not know, pretty much the only thing scouting-wise, the only major difference between scouts is, of course, their specialty, whereas, of course, you'd see here it's 11 points, considering we have an offensive line-oriented scout, whereas for every other position it's 15. So I am going to be hiring and firing our scout quite a bit. It's not really that big of a detriment to us, so let's go ahead and finish this up. Brian French, looking quite good. And then again, so was Michael Dieter, but again, we'll see where we finish. It's way too early to say, yes, this is our guy in the draft. We'll see. Once we get to the draft, of course, it's going to be, taking a look at the main three attributes, taking a look at the combine results. We're going to make sure, of course, that we get the best guys available. But with us using this custom draft class, of course, we do have... I did not mean to hit the button again. That was a waste of points. I didn't... I was going to say, with this custom draft class, we know that there are going to be some half-decent players. So we'll be able to take advantage of that. And with that, we're pretty much good to go. I don't really anticipate having to change anything up about the team, about the schemes. We are what we are at this point, for better or for worse. We'll continue to run the 4-3. Of course, the 3-4 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but we'll continue to run the 4-3. We are pretty much good to go. The only thing I want to check, actually it's a road game then again, so I don't even have to check, as far as the ticket prices and everything like that goes. So we're going to jump into this. We're going to see what happens here. Green Bay has a massive advantage in terms of overall, as you would expect, yet we find ourselves on the same level, both with an 0-3 start to begin this season. We can turn it around right here and right now, or it will get worse. And as we get closer to week 8, as we get closer to the trade deadline, we might have ourselves some important questions to ask. We might have to ask ourselves some important questions. Phrasing and actually saying things correctly and being on top of your game when you're recording an episode. Not exactly my specialty. But let's get down to business here. Can we get our first win of the season here at Lambeau? Let's do this. We're going to jump to the second quarter. Let's see how this goes as Green Bay takes an early 3-0 lead. We strike back, though, 7-3. How'd we end up getting that touchdown? That is my question. Let's find out. It was... What the hell was it? Was it on the previous possession? I am super confused. Where was that touchdown? Aaron Rodgers, 11-yard pass, 33-yard field goal for Crosby. I'm not seeing anything about a touchdown here. They scored the field goal first game. I'm really confused here. What am I missing? Where is the listing of the touchdown? What's even happening? 10-yard penalty against the offense and an extra point's good. That does not make sense. I'll take it, I guess. Thank you. We're winning. That's incredibly weird. We'll find out at the end of the game how that happened. As Green Bay strikes back, they have a 13-7 lead, and they will carry that into halftime. Not ideal. Let's go closer to the fourth quarter. Once we're about halfway through the fourth quarter, we'll slow it down. If it's a close enough game, which right now it is not. 19-7 Packers. We're going to sim through the fourth. If it starts to, if we start to close the gap a little bit, I'll slow it down, which, we can do that now. It's 3rd and 4 on our 17. They get a 5-yard rush and a first down. Oh, boy, we're done for. 1st and 1. Rodgers throws it away. 2nd and 1. 2nd and goal. Oh, boy. And there it is. 33-14. Call it a hunch. I think this game's over. We'll go ahead and wave the white flag on this one, even though, of course, there is plenty of time left. But let's be honest, it's over. And 33-14 ends up being the final. The Packers get their first win of the season as we fall to 0-4. 0-4. Would we be this bad if we weren't without LeSean McCoy? Who's to say? 17 of 37 for Josh Allen, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, so he had a pretty solid game. Completion-wise, it was a bit rough, but he had a pretty decent game. Our running game just did not get going. Darkwa, 29 yards on 16 carries. Absolutely brutal. In terms of receiving yards, you had Corey Coleman over 63 yards, Clay and Curley both over 50. We ended up with, of course, two passing touchdowns. One for Curley, one for Coleman. I'm just a little bit distraught. That's all. I'm just a tad bit distraught. 15 tackles for Tremaine Edmonds, though. Solid. No interceptions that game. I said at the start of this that we might want to change things up about this game, but that we didn't. We might want to, because without LeSean McCoy, even with Darkwa being a power back, without LeSean McCoy, we are in a world of trouble right now. We're giving up a lot of points as well. Might be worth... here's the thing. Is it worth changing up the defense when you can kind of look at our defense and say, yeah, it's not that good? We've only gone 1 week without allowing 20 or more points, and we just allowed 33 to the Packers. So I'm not sure if it's a matter of our schemes being the issue. It probably isn't. It's pretty much down to the fact that we're just not a very good team. Shocker, I know. And again, defensively, base 4-3, 79 scheme fit. As a 4-6, we're at a 95, but again, that's just essentially all out stop the run, which we're not really getting beat on the ground, clearly. So, it's tough to say. Tampa 2 would be a 66, multiple 3-4 would be a 79, 3-4 in general would be a 79. We could drop out of the 4-3.
A few moments later.
Alright, so there might have been a weird jump cut there, but for the sake of time, I decided to just skip forward to the point in time where I finally made up my mind on the offensive schemes, or just the schemes in general, but mainly the offensive scheme, because after taking a look at the defense, I'm like, well shit, did we change up the offense? Josh Allen, he's got a good strong arm, he's got a good scrambler rating. Let's try him with the scrambler setup. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? What, we lose another 4 games in a row? I think we'll be alright. I was tempted to go Carolina. I ended up going Seattle for the offense. Base 3-4 defense, of course. Now we're going to be using the Baltimore playbook just to try and help that out a little bit. Will it help out at all, considering we're simming the games? Who the hell knows? But again, it really can't hurt at this point in time. Didn't mean to go to team value. That's all right, though. We know we're dead last. We will fix that in time. We will make this organization a powerhouse on the field. We'll make this organization a powerhouse monetarily. Just, yeah, we're going to be good, damn it. Am I just trying to convince myself? Probably. And maybe because I have my doubts. I haven't had much success on Madden 19 yet. If you've been following on Twitch, you'll know. We've been kind of struggling. So my confidence is a little bit shaken when I haven't found any success, and now I have a team that's starting off 0-4 to begin a season. I am a little bit concerned. Let's worry about these negotiations for the moment, though. Kelvin Benjamin, I'm very worried. I don't really want to offer you more than 8 as far as a cap hit. We'll try this offer. It's a little bit more. We still have plenty of cap room, so I mean it's worth paying you just to keep you. Oh boy, all right, that could be a problem. Vontae Davis, same thing. We'll go 1 year. Let's go up to a 1.5 bonus. Oh my god, I hate that little skip effect. It's so bad. Let's just see if the bonus is enough to win him over. It is not. And again, Lorenzo Alexander will be gone. Jeremy Curley, let's talk. 3-year deal. You are insane. How about a 2-year deal? And I'll offer you that straight up. This is not going well. Nick O'Leary, you're 26. You do have that quick development, though, so I'll keep you. 3-year deal. I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. Is anybody going to be okay? Okay, so thank you, Nick O'Leary, the first guy who's actually all right with accepting my base offer, as he should be, because it's very risky as to whether or not, very risky to re-sign him just because we don't know as to whether or not he's actually going to develop. There's a decent chance that he will not, but considering we might not have better options anytime soon with how many other positions we need to fill, it's worth the risk, I would say. Because we're going to get back into the scouting game. And, of course, for offensive line options moving forward, we are looking pretty good. Of course, as I say that, the center depth starts to fall off a little bit, but that's all right. We got good old Ray Tootin. Gotta love Ray Tootin. Let's see, Ross Herman, are you any decent? You're okay. What about Antoine Centef? Half decent, and unfortunately, we don't have the points that we can use from that point on, as we're playing the 0-4 Titans. Boy, what an exciting schedule for us, huh? But at the very least, it's a home game. We'll make some money. How will we do under the new spread offense? Try to just put the team on Josh Allen's back and see if he can run us to victory. Literally, just one victory. That's all we're hoping for at this point in time. Will it happen? Will it not? I don't know. We're going to find out. Fingers crossed. Like I said, it literally could not be worse. By just kind of panicking, switching up the schemes, and seeing what happens. But clearly, as we approach the deadline, we are looking as if we are going to be sellers unless we can start stringing together some wins. Am I confident in that happening at this point? Let's get through this first quarter. See if we can get the early lead. We cannot. We can tie it up fairly quickly, though, and take the lead with a field goal. So 10-7 at the end of the first. Not bad. It was a 52-yard touchdown pass to Sharp. Yikes. We struck back, though, or did we? Interception for Jordan Poyer, and a 4-yard touchdown rush from Darkwa. All right, that is what helped. So the defense stepping up a little bit. Not going to say that's due to the scheme change, but you never know. It could have helped. As we took the advantage there for a little bit, and then before I could even say anything, it really caught me off guard that Tennessee, took the lead right back. 2014 though at halftime. So far so good from the new look offense in terms of putting up points. Hauschka with a 38-yard field goal, 77-yard rushing touchdown for Dion Lewis. If that doesn't just break my heart, I'll tell you. Darkwa though with his second touchdown of the game. Again, it's close. We still have a long way to go. We'll see what happens here in the third. Field goal for Tennessee. We get one of our own, 23-17 at this point. Let's go ahead and sim. Of course, if it starts to get a little bit close, a little bit competitive, we'll drop the time. 3:59 to go. It's 23-17. We have possession, and we are going to be forced to hit a field goal. I'm all right with that. I didn't think Hauschka was going to hit the 53-yarder. He did. 26-17 with 3:41 to go, as we are on the verge of winning our first game of the season. Julian Stanford, I think that's how I read it correctly. 2-point conversion's good, and this game's over. Marcus Mariota, I don't know if it's the offensive line that's giving him trouble or what, but he is not having a very good game, and that is going to lead to your Buffalo Bills getting the first win of the season. We change up the offense, we change up the defense. Jerry Hughes having himself a game, although they convert on that fourth down, so that doesn't help. Okay, Corey Davis, if you could just calm down here. Like, I know you're pretty much out of time, but still, no need to make me sweat over it, please. Just no need. Okay, Corey Davis, no more highlights for you. Game over. The Buffalo Bills have won for the first time this season. I will take it. It just took us going up against the 0-4 Titans to do it. As Josh Allen still had himself a pretty decent game. 22 of 37, 217 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. But, I'll take it. Mariota, 21 of 45, 287 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. That is a rough game, sir. Running-wise, Darkwa, much better performance. 69 yards on 23 carries. Cadet with 18 yards on 6 carries. Allen only ran once. Picked up 5 yards. Receiving-wise, again, Corey Davis had himself a ridiculous game. Charles Clay, 68 yards on 6 receptions. Curley up to 40 yards. Benjamin with 33. And actually, we will take a look there as, again, we didn't have that single touchdown. Sharp, the only receiving touchdown of the game. Blocking-wise, Taylor Lewan. Lewin? I'm going with Lewin. Wow. Impressive. Allowed 3 sacks. Jordan Mills, not much better, allowed 2. Klein and Ben Jones also allowed 1. So a rough day for Marcus Mariota. Defensively, Jerry Hughes led the way with 7 tackles. Had 3.5 sacks, which is ridiculous. Williams with 1 as well. Stanford, Davis, and Poyer on the interceptions there. Good stuff. And Stephen Hauschka, 4 for 4 with the field goals. 53 yards, the longest of the day, the final one that he ended up hitting. And again, the Buffalo Bills have their first win of the season. Pressure is on as we move closer to the deadline as Trent Murphy gets a skill point available. We'll actually take a look here if it wants to load. He's a power rusher. We're running a power rushing based scheme. Seems good enough to me. Congratulations, Trent Murphy, on the decent amount of progression there. I will take it. And again, first win of the season. We finally got that monkey off our back. We finally got a win. Can we keep up that momentum? I certainly hope so. I mean, week 6 and 7 here against Houston and Indianapolis, going to be big deciding factors on whether or not we look to make any sort of moves whatsoever as we handle contract negotiations here. Kelvin Benjamin, buddy, can we get a deal done? I know you're looking for more money. I don't really want that 4-year deal to bring it up till you're 31. I can't guarantee you'll be here the entire time. Again, I'd prefer to not pay you over 8 per season. How about 7.9 for a cap hit? What do you say? You want to help do me a favor here? All right. We had to pay him a tiny bit, just a tad bit more than I would have preferred, but it works. And Vonta Davis wants a higher salary. Right. Well, you can get a higher salary, sir. But I'm not offering you more than 4. 4 is a stretch. It is. Like, that is not a good contract, and I am openly admitting that. But just because I don't know what the free agent class is going to look like, I'm willing to do it if he's willing to sign, and he is. I'm sure you're happy about that. You should be happy about that. I'm overspending to keep you. You should be ecstatic. Again, Lorenzo Alexander, I'd love to bring you back. There's no way you don't decline. Jeremy Curley wants that 3-year deal. 17.2 is the fair offer. I'm going to bump that up ever so slightly. Let's drop you to $5 million. That, again, is such a stretch, but I'm afraid of losing anybody for free right now. So Jeremy Curley will look to bring you back. I cannot believe you declined that. I shouldn't bring you back just for declining that. You are ridiculous. Colton Schmidt, we're not going to bring back for obvious reasons. Cadet, we're not going to bring back for obvious reasons. I have a feeling you're going to be hearing that a lot. And to be honest, if people like Curley want to sit here and try to just penny pinch and get that extra little bit of money out of me, I'm probably just going to let him go for nothing. Again, I'm afraid of what the free agent class might look like, but I'm also not going to be extorted. If someone doesn't want to sign for a half-decent contract, then I'm just not going to keep you, even if I have the money to spend. I'm not saying my go-to move is going to be keep people and then trade them, just to make sure we get something. But hey, if they want to play that game, that might very well be the case. There's nothing to really change about the offense heading into this next game, or the defense for that matter. We picked up our first win of the season, and again, whether or not that was down to luck, whether or not that was down to the scheme changes, I don't know. I don't care. A win is a win. I'll take advantage of it. Can we get our second win of the season, though, against the Houston Texans? I'm afraid that will not be the case, and I wish it would stop showing LaShawn McCoy. Do you have to keep rubbing it in my face, EA, that he's out for the season? Do you have to? I don't know if you do, but we'll see what happens in this game. And again, we have just a few weeks to go before the deadline. No guarantees over how this is going to go and what the deadline is going to look like for us. But let's go ahead and sim through the first quarters. We get a touchdown on the opening drive. I'll take it. 10-0 at halftime. At halftime. I wish it's at the end of the first quarter. I wish it was at halftime. It was a 3-yard touchdown pass to Corey Coleman, and Hauschka with a 28-yard field goal. 10-0 at the end of the first. I am all over the place in this episode, and I apologize for that, but we're doing what we can. 10-3 at this point in time. Make it 10-6 and 13-10. 13 unanswered points for the Texans, and I told you, I wish it was 10-0 at halftime, because it is no longer. Not by a long shot. That is unfortunate. Let's see, what was that? It technically didn't say. Okay, so 41-yard field goal there. Let's see, we couldn't convert there. 43-yard field goal, 3 and out. And a 72-yard touchdown pass to Sean Watson to Bruce Ellington. If that's not a nail in the coffin, even though we're only down by 3, let's go through the third quarter. Can we get back into this one? The answer for the moment is no, as we will look to continue on, still down by 3, as we'll keep our eyes on it. Houston with the ball on our 18 at 5, with 5:30 to go. 6-yard rush from Lamar Miller, 3rd and 9, and on 3rd and 9, touchdown Texans. 4:46 to go. We have allowed 20 unanswered points, and I don't exactly like our chances. Allen throws it away on first down. 2nd and 10, it's a 5-yard pass to Charles Clay. 3rd and 5, it's knocked down. We're going to go for it, I'm sure. 4th and 5, and we do get an 8-yard reception. We still have a chance. And then Josh Allen sacked for 7 by Jadeveon Clowney. 14-yard pass to Curley. They lose Justin Reed. 2:37 to go. 12-yard pass. All right, now we're going. Now we're cooking with gas. Jeremy Curley. I guess you do want that contract. Jeremy Curley. I guess you do want that contract. Good Lord, this drive out of nowhere. And then he's sacked by Clowney again. 2nd and 13. 7-yard reception for Curley. We're running out of time. 5-yard pass for Benjamin. 4th and 1. Touchdown Bills. Jeremy Curley. 25 to go. We have all 3 timeouts. They recover the onside kick. We should be able to get it back, but it's so unlikely. 6-yard rush from Miller. I think we're done. And indeed we are. Somehow we lost a timeout there. I don't know if we lost it on the drive or not. A solid drive to end the game, but we do not recover the onside kick. We fall to 1-5 on the season. Unfortunate. A solid game for Allen. 94.3 rating. 21 of 37, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's having a decent rookie season at this point, but we just couldn't get it going. Darkwa with 76 yards on 17 carries. Strong game, strong effort. We just could not get it going. Coleman and Curley with the touchdown passes, but unfortunately, Mills and Dawkins, I mean, God, granted, Rod Johnson allowed 3 sacks himself, but that was not a good game for this offensive line. Not that we expected that to be the case. Micah Hyde with 2 interceptions, and even then, that wasn't enough for us to get out ahead. Hauschka with the 1 field goal in this game. 1-5 on the season at this point. If we lose this next game to the Colts, I think that pretty much sets the stage for how we are going to have to handle this upcoming, this upcoming trade deadline. Of course, it's after Week 8, I do believe. In real life, at least, it's after Week 8. They moved it from 6 to 8. As we do end up getting Phillip Gaines back. I mean, he's the depth option, in a way. Not a regular, every defensive down player. Again, Alexander, I'm not going to worry about. Curley, I mean, you're a 77, buddy, at 29. I'm just going to let you go. I wanted to keep you, but I'm just going to let you go. That is not worth signing. Alexander's gone. Schmidt's gone. Cadet is gone. Robinson's gone for just obvious reasons. Miller, I mean, you're 25 with that normal development. You're going to be gone. Yeah, I mean, most of these guys are on the way out. And as it is, you could argue I maybe shouldn't have even signed certain guys to some of the contracts I already handed out. But at this point, you know, if someone is 77 overall wide receivers asking that, that is a problem. As we're going to finish scouting the right tackle options here. And from there, I have no idea what we're going to scout next. Because, of course, we still need help basically everywhere, as apparently there are no other good guys in this draft. So the offensive line has been completely scouted. Let's take a look here at what we should focus on next, which, you know, just throw a dart at a board blind and you'll probably hit a problem area with this team. Quarterback, of course, with Josh Allen, we're good. Running back, we have issues. LaShawn McCoy isn't going to be staying here for obvious reasons. He's going to start declining, and of course, after we had to get rid of him, of course, after we had to put him on the IR, it's bad. Wide receivers, we need help. Tight end, we're okay for the moment, I guess. The offensive line, obviously, help us on the way, you would hope. Defensively, obviously, we need help. I'm going to prioritize the offense. For the moment, I think we're going to focus on running backs next. So let me go find a scout with a running back focus. Mr. York, hate to tell you, your time here is done. Thank you very much for your services. Do we have a running back specialty? Please, thank God. Haywood Schnupp. Welcome to the team, Haywood. Happy to have you here. Good old Haywood Schnupp. Hopefully going to help us find our LaShawn McCoy replacement. Of course, and depending on where we are in the draft, you know, the question will be asked as far as who is worth selecting and when. But Bryce Love out of Stanford, of course, could be the best option. We're pretty much guaranteed to take a running back at some point in time. So I'm thinking here, we're 1-5. We're playing the 2-4 Colts. Let's go through this game as well. We'll see what happens. If we lose this one, as mentioned, we are really going to have to rethink how we want to handle this. Of course, the goal wasn't necessarily to immediately sell. Of course, we added 2 additions to this team through free agency. The thought of, hey, could we make the playoffs maybe like they did in real life? You know, could we add on to that, of course, and make the playoffs in consecutive years? Not going to happen? Probably. We need to win this game. Period. We need to win this game, or selling off some of our more valuable pieces. That certainly seems like the better way to go. So let's see how we do in Indianapolis. I would like to think it's going to be a victory. This might be the only time this season that we have the overall advantage on a team. To the end of the first quarter we go. Can we strike first? Is my question. No, we cannot. A scoreless first quarter. There was a big-time turnover there. Not sure if it was an interception or a fumble. We will go to halftime as we get the opening touchdown. Make it 10-0. 10-0 at halftime. I'm good with that. I got my request. It was just a game later. I could see the future. Darkwa with the 5-yard rushing touchdown. And we have ourselves a lead. 27-yard field goal for Hauschka. 10-0. Let's go to the end of the third and see what the situation is. 17-0. Make it 20-0. Okay. Much better. We're beating a team that we probably should beat. Imagine that. It was another touchdown for Darkwa. I'll take it. Let's go through the fourth quarter. If the Colts start to strike back, which they did already, it's 23-7. I mean, this game is over. 23-15, and there you have it. No real reason to call it. I don't know if you can hear that truck outside. How often I've had to mention that. I hate it so much. I don't like where I live right now at all. I'll take it. Regardless, we beat a team that we should have beaten. It's a victory for everybody. I'll take it. 2 wins now in the season. Josh Allen, I'm going to guess there were a couple of interceptions there. 23 of 38, 274 yards. Yeah, at least one. Okay, so no touchdowns, an interception. Darkwa, 39 yards on 21 carries. Yikes. Ended up with 2 touchdowns, though. Cadet had 47 yards on 16 carries. And apparently A.J. McCarron got a little bit of playtime. Why? Don't know, but he did. Allen's not hurt. Kelvin Benjamin had himself a game. 111 receiving yards on 9 receptions. Clay as well, 79 yards for the game. Coleman with 48. The offensive line, still not great. Jordan Mills still doing his best turnstile impression. Glad to see that's the case. Tackle-wise, Webster led the way with 10 QB sacks, 2 for Murphy, 1 for Lawson, and a half sack for Davis and Hughes. Interceptions-wise, Darius Leonard, the only one with an interception in that game. And then kicking-wise, Hauschka, 3 for 3, the longest of 51. 23-15 is your final. We're 2-5 on the season. What the hell do we do at the deadline is the question. And whether or not we just keep this team the same and hope for the best, or do we maybe look to make a move at the last moment that we possibly can. Again, this is it. Trade deadline is after this week. We play the 6-1 Patriots at home. It's a huge game. We'll take a look at the standings here in a moment just to see with what we're dealing with. Amazing. I have been so off on this episode in terms of speaking. I don't know what it is, but it's fine. I'll continue to point it out. Probably didn't bother you at all. Bothers the hell out of me. Anyway, Alexander, Curly, you're out of here. See you later, buddy. Schmidt, Cadet. I'm going to worry about this at the end of the season, because that way I'll have access to everybody, so it's fine. In terms of scouting, again, let's focus on running backs for the moment, just to get a look at our best options. Rodney Anderson. Oh yeah, we're taking a running back. At some point in this draft, we are taking a running back. Didn't mean to hit the button again there. It just ended up being habits. Not sure who, not sure when, but we're getting running back help. I'm going to take a look at these 7th round options as well, and that's why Dontarius Newton could end up being a half decent pickup late in this draft. So again, we're playing the 6-1 Patriots in Week 8. The big question, though, is what the hell do we do in terms of whether or not we blow this team up? The Patriots are running away with the AFC East. Shocker, I know. As we take a look at the AFC North, Cleveland at 6-1, leading the way. Ridiculous. 4th best record, or at least tied for the 4th best record in the league. Steelers at 3-2. Bengals and Ravens also struggling a bit. AFC South, Texas running away with it. Jacksonville doing well. The Titans winless on the season through 7 games. Patriots at 6-1. Dolphins, ourselves, and the Jets at 2-5. Right. So you can pretty much tell that our playoff hopes aren't exactly gone yet, right? We're still there. We are still there. The wild card could very well happen, especially if we win games against everyone else in the division aside from the Patriots. But who knows? Maybe we could pull off an upset of the Patriots here in Week 8 and really make a name for ourselves. Here's the thing. As mentioned, in terms of trade options, in terms of someone who's going to have a lot of value, There aren't really a ton of players that we could look to move out anyway, I would say. In terms of wideouts, I mean, it'd be better just to probably keep Jeremy Curley for the year instead of trying to trade him now, although that is a possibility. I think the big moves, I'd probably want to keep Charles Clay, although you could argue, are we going to be better within 2 to 3 years when he starts to hit the decline? Probably not. The offensive line, of course, is just a mess. I mean, you could argue that we might as well just go for it, see what happens. Who cares? I mean, again, Kyle Williams could trade him to a contender to try and get him a Super Bowl ring. But of course, I get it. Fan favorite. Might just be worth keeping him. Might just be worth keeping this team together, seeing what they can do, even though it's not looking all that promising, of course, for this season. We knew this would be a little bit more of a project. It was very unlikely that we were going to make the playoffs, especially after the McCoy injury. But for now, I'm going to end it here because I want your input as far as what we should do in terms of the trade deadline. If I had to say, if anything, shockingly, I'd probably just vote to keep the team the same, sim through the rest of the year, get to the draft, and take it from there. But I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what you guys think. What do you think of our playoff chances at this point? Now that you've seen the AFC standings. And again, week 8 against New England. This is a huge game coming up for us. And that game against the Jets in week 10. That's going to be a major difference maker for us in the standings. But for now, we are done here. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I know as I'm sitting here recording this, that at certain points I've been like, man, I have fucked up so much. I almost wish to restart this. But you know what? I'm not perfect, so I'm leaving it in as is. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me stumble and stammer and just butcher the English language. It's my first and only language. You'd think I'd be better at it. Hope you enjoyed me butchering the language for the past 40 some odd minutes. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one, where there's a decent chance we could just breeze through the rest of the season. Perhaps. I don't know. We'll see what happens.